Director of Cultural Outreach, and here interviewing Carly Reeves, who is the Vice President and co-founder of 2930 Creative. Carly has particular expertise in reaching the women's consumer market, so she'll be sharing some of her insights. Thank you so much, Carly, for being on the interview.
Hi, thanks for having me.
So, Carly, what are some of the nuances that you keep in mind when marketing specifically to women consumers?
When we're marketing a demographic that is majority female, we'd like to keep in mind things that are important to them, what drives their day, things that they're dealing with every day. We try to look at it from a more objective standpoint than just biases that we think we already know. And a lot of the times that's getting to work, what they deal with at work, making sure that they're balancing work life, and things like that, and really taking into consideration the full plate that most women have. So we start there and kind of build a story for our clients around that.
How do you go about really understanding at least the female market that you're trying to target without, just basing it off of your own biases or assumptions?
Right. So a lot of what we do is research. We talk to people. We get away from our computers and researching. We actually go and talk to people. We have focus groups. We do interviews. We talk to women that represent the demographics. And, we make a huge master list of everything that they say that's important to them, and we work backwards from there. So I think it's really important for marketers. Sometimes it's easy for us to get lost in our numbers and the things that we're reading and the things that we have pulled up on our computer. We need to get away from our desks and actually talk to people that we're marketing to.
Yes, so good. So what are some of the common mistakes or false assumptions that people often make in marketing to women?
I think a huge assumption is that women aren't the breadwinners in their families. I think a lot of people think that if they're married, especially, or if they're in a relationship, that they're not the one making the bigger income, and therefore they're not necessarily the decision makers in the household, when there's a lot of research that speaks to that being otherwise. Women are often the ones making the decisions about large purchases such as cars or technology. They're the ones that are putting in the hours of research and doing a lot of comparison shopping before they actually make the purchase. And they're actually less likely, which this is actually was surprising to me when I found this out. They're less likely to have an impulse buy. They want to see reviews. They want to see research more so than their male counterparts when it comes to making large purchases.
Yeah, I've seen that as well. So interesting. And women are also, we're finding, driving home purchases. So, it makes sense right in line with that research. And the single female home buyer market has grown significantly as well.
Well, I was just going to add to that, another thing is that there's a huge myth that women are more interested in aesthetics, and especially when it comes to buying a home, that they're more interested in the superficial and the cosmetic rather than the actual looking into the house, understanding, researching. So I think that is also something that marketers need to be cognizant of, that it's more than just what the house looks like on the outside. And women are definitely more interested in making sure that they're making a safe purchase for their family or for themselves.
Definitely. I find a lot of times people assume that women just want the emotional connection, so they try to be very relational, but women will skip right over you. At least the majority today are moving more towards wanting the financial information and making a very logical and focused decision. So, yeah, that's really interesting. So could you share a few of any best practices you have in connecting with female buyers from a marketer's perspective?
I would say first, put your assumptions aside about what you think you know or what you think you've learned, and actually do the research to build out a thorough persona of the woman that you're marketing to. I think that's your first step. Once you have a solid persona to work from, then you can actually start to build out these stories and understand, the marketing funnel and what a purchase funnel looks like for a female consumer. I would say the second thing would be to not put them in a separate box from their male counterparts. A lot of their interests are the same, the motivations are the same. And so when we separate that, it comes off patronizing or condescending. So I think if we're also aware of how we're speaking to female consumers, I think that's also very important, especially knowing that women do a lot of research and they're actually well versed in what you're already talking to them about.
Definitely, that's great. So lastly, are there any social media sites or websites that are particularly active with female consumers? And do they differ in how they interact with those?
Sure. Instagram and Pinterest, I've noticed, are very much active. And actually, before I get even more into this, you could even go further and break it down into age groups. Whereas, older women over a certain age are more likely to use Facebook because family is a priority to them and connecting to their large families, that's a priority to them. Whereas younger women may be more interested in, researching those purchases, making connections, whereas that's where Instagram and Pinterest would probably come into more, I don't know, come into more relativity, I guess. But yeah, being able to see a product, women are very visual. So with Instagram and with Pinterest, going back to the fact that women like to research before they make a purchase, both of those platforms lend themselves very well to being able to do that, see a product, learn more information about it, and put it together as how it relates to other products, especially with something like Pinterest where you can build a board out and see the whole picture.
Yeah, definitely. That's so interesting. Cool. Well, you gave incredible insights, and I really think shed a good light on the holistic female consumer. So I really appreciate you sharing those and being on the call today.
Hey, great. Thanks